what's going on, everybody? Paul Tully with the FYI Podcast, New York Special Edition. I'm here in New York City, and I am with my friend Ralph Bracco, tremendous actor. Ralph, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you. It's great seeing you again, and as much as we get to talk online, it's always good to be in person.
Yeah. Me and Ralph met. We were doing a TV show called Kingpins, produced by the History Channel. It was about the Gambino crime family, and we played a couple wise guys from New York. And we were down there for what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks we were down there.
2 weeks.
Back in 2017.
Yeah.
You played Roy DeMeo. I played Neil Delacroce. And it was a great experience because we get to meet a couple other guys. We didn't know each other. Well, a couple of us did, but we didn't realize we were working together. But it was 7 Italian guys, originally from New York, even though a couple of you guys were from LA. And like I said, you put 7 Italian guys down in a foreign country for 2 weeks, you're going to have a fun time.
Had a blast.
We had a blast, and it was a good time. It turned out to be a really good project to work on, and
it was great.
We had some fun time.
What was fun too, so we get down to Bogota, it's in Colombia. We're down there in Bogota, and they were shooting the... there were a bunch of Irish guys that were shooting.
They were shooting the Whitey Bulger.
Whitey Bulger.
Because they did one on El Chapo, Whitey Bulger, and John Gotti. That's what it was called.
That's what it was. Yeah, so the Mexican one, the one on El Chapo, they had already shot.
Yes.
So it was the Whitey Bulger, and those guys were leaving when we got to the hotel.
They were all Irish.
They were wild, from what we heard.
Yeah, and they actually fired the original Whitey Bulger because he was bothering too much of the locals.
Everybody was in character.
It was
and then all the Italian guys were in the restaurants. We're ordering desserts.
We had a blast. We had some fun times.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Especially when you were in the middle of getting your massage.
I was in the middle of getting a nice massage, and it's not what you think, but these guys, why'd you guys come banging on the door? Policia, policia!
We came down knocking on the door, and he comes to the door.
The masseuse, she almost had a heart attack, and it was a legit nice massage, but you guys scared the crap out of it. Came to the door in his towel,
and we definitely had a great time.
We had fun, and then I got food poisoning. I ate something.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was? I didn't know not to eat too much salad and because of the water. And that was rough. We were shooting scenes. I was running to the bathroom in between takes.
But it was good because it was a good beginning to a good friendship.
Yes.
I feel.
Yes. And now Craig's in my play.
And Craig is in your play. Craig played Sammy the Bull, a great Sammy the Bull, Greg Ravella. Yeah. And he's in your play, and he's a great actor also and a good friend.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to get together with everybody and for you to come back to your roots, basically. And when I went out to L.A., I got to go into your little town over there. And
took you to dinner.
Took me to dinner.
It's good.
Yeah, we had a good time. We saw Top Gun the
new one, the Maverick. New one. It was new then. So let's talk a little bit about you. You grew up in Brooklyn?
No, I was born in Brooklyn, but was raised in Queens.
Queens, okay.
Richmond Hill, Queens, Ozone Park area. Grew up in my grandparents' home. So it was typical, Italian family, aunts and uncles in the back room, aunts and uncles downstairs, grandparents downstairs, in un basement. And me, my mother, my sister, and my father, we were upstairs. So it was a great childhood, If you get a chance to grow up with your grandparents, especially Italian grandparents, it's something you never want to give up. And I'm so glad and it taught me a lot, about family and because we were ground central for our family because everybody came to see my grandparents. So we were always there. So it's definitely something different, and I cherished it all my life,
Yeah.
So, growing up in the city, you learn certain things that you carry on for life and stuff that you get to know about in the streets, and that helps you out through the rest of your life.
Yeah. So throughout your life, when did you first find acting or, the arts? Did you grow up with it or did you find it later in life?
I always enjoyed it as a kid. So the story goes, and it's a true story. I wasn't the greatest student, and I used to get in trouble. I went to Catholic school, so as we say here on the East Coast. And the nuns, they used to call my mother up to the school and everything like that. And they used to tell her, it's not like he's a dumb kid. He's smart. He just doesn't want to apply himself. He's going to go somewhere, and they told her then, if anything, he's going to be a great comedian or an actor someday because he's got talent there. And it's funny because I still get together with one of my elementary school nuns to this day. We go to ball games with our one class. And she, like I said, it was a true story, and I tell her about it. She said, "Yep, that's the type of student you were."
That's awesome.
But I always enjoyed watching TV. You know, back then in the '60s and '70s, like that, you had some of the greatest stuff that was ever produced, directed, whether it was on TV or out in the theaters and stuff like that. And I always loved, watching them. I used to go to a lot of movies with my family and stuff like that, especially my uncle. And I always gravitated towards the side of the cops or the sides of the wise guys because that's what you had back then and stuff like that. But also I loved the westerns, and so it was just everything of movies. And we had the musicals too.
Yeah.
I used to love that. So back then we didn't have nothing to distract us.
Right.
You either had TV and movies or the radio.
Yeah.
And that's what we did, along with sports.
Right.
I love sports, but I always had it since a kid. I wanted, and now that I'm in the business, everybody in my family always says that. Yeah, that's him, the actor.
It made sense.
That's it. And I got my grandson acting that way. They said, "Oh, he's not too far off."
That's awesome.
So it's good. Everything's working out good.
I love that. And you are a big sports fan, big Yankee fan.
Big time Yankee fan. Yeah. I'm a season ticket holder for 48 years in the upper echelon. And I'm not afraid to vocalize about the team. I'm past that now, so I say it the way it is, and they've had their share of me giving them heat and stuff like that. But I'm a big time Yankee fan. Live and die with them, and seen a lot. A lot of championships, and last year killed me. I came out to LA for Game 1 of the World Series. It was on my birthday. My son, that was his present to me, and it turned out the way we wanted. But we were in LA for 3 days, so that was good. But I love anything to do with the Yankees.
Yeah. I always see your posts. I'm always entertained when you get really passionate.
Yeah. So that's for sure. And it gave me the opportunity that I got to portray Joe Torre.
That's right.
For Derek Jeter documentary. And it was very rewarding because after the whole process was done, the production company told me, and the casting director told me, right from the beginning, he said, nothing, just to let you know that you were booked basically right from your audition.
Wow.
And the best part about it was that Jeter and his parents had to sign. He says that's the caveat is they basically signed off on it. So I was like, wow, and that was a nationwide type of thing.
That's really cool.
Torre, of course, I had no mustache, different, So I got to do that, and then also I love theater, and in a play called Bat Boy about the original Bat Boy from the Yankees, Ray Negron from '73, I got to play Billy Martin.
Wow.
Which was a hero of mine from my father. Tell me about him and stuff like that. So I was like, how great is this? I get into the business. I love baseball. I love the Yankees, and I get to have 5 world championships under my belt by playing Joe Torre and Billy Martin.
That's cool.
So it's a marriage of my true love of baseball and the love of the entertainment and acting, being able to play those 2 characters.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, you've had a heck of a run in doing shows like Law and Order, and you have
I did a lot. I was core on Law and Order for 8 years. When we say core, I was one of the core squadron officers. So it was basically an every other day work where they give you, hey, can you work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday? We're fine. So it was nothing, that was good. And I had a big run on a lot of ID channel stuff, which I love all of those because they're in my wheelhouse. Playing the detective, a cop, or a bad guy. I mean, it's New York. What else you can, it's there. But so I was on that for like 8 years.
Yeah. No, what's cool is we've talked many times because you've chose not to go union, right?
Well, I'm union now.
But you are union now.
Yeah.
But for a long time you were not
I
union.
wasn't going union because I always felt you had a lot of people just wanted to jump in. Oh, they got their waivers. And I always wanted to go in when I felt I was ready. I had my my Taft-Hartley, which gives you the opportunity to join the union, for like 10 years from a project I did, and the director, gave me a role and stuff. But I felt, not that I wasn't ready, but I wanted to have at least a resume.
Yeah.
And I had, I always wanted at least to have 3 good commercials under my belt.
That makes sense.
I wanted to get into the commercial, because there's money in the commercial and on the union stuff. So I had my good run of non-union commercials. That was like every time I was ready to join the union, I got another nice non-union thing. It was like, but eventually, as an actor, you want to be a union, like that. So I eventually joined. I gave myself a timeline. I said, all right, let me see how I do with this, and it's been okay. Unfortunately, I was joining when COVID hit, and the industry has really not recovered yet in my eyes.
Right.
But so I'm
So as
union now.
non-union, do you feel you were getting a lot more work?
Oh yeah, well
was
listen,
very steady,
I
right?
tell a lot of young actors too, don't just jump in, because you got to realize with the union work, you only got 25 jobs out of a project at a union, and you can have 100 people on set, and the other 75 are non-union. You're going to have more job opportunities as far as that. You can't get hooked up on I'm a union actor and stuff like that. You're a working actor, whether you're union or non-union.
Exactly.
If you love the business, you're in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's got its benefits both ways.
Yeah.
And especially the way things are shifting and stuff like that. There's a lot of non-union stuff, a lot of independent stuff, which I love working on independent shows. So it's a crazy business, and theater. I love theater work. So that's why doing the Bat Boy play is live theater. I love doing that.
And you're doing a mob show. Right? This is a dinner.
Yeah.
This is cool.
So, I'm also involved in, it's called Murdered by the Mob. It's the longest running dinner theater show in Manhattan, running for 30 years. And I'm not only the stage director on that, but I also play a number of characters. And I'm actually the detective that runs the whole show.
Nice.
And it's audience participation. So we call audience up. It's comedy, and it's improv, which I like.
Yeah.
So you never know what's going to come out of that person's mouth, and you got to get back at them. But it's a scripted dinner theater show, and it's live. And
I love that.
We're in front of different people every week, which is fantastic.
I love that. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
I would love to come check that out.
Yeah.
Where do you think you find your inspiration to keep going, to keep doing this? What really drives you to keep pursuing and doing the work?
I always wanted to, not looking to be that type of actor where you're walking down the street,
Yeah.
I just want to be the type of actor that is a working actor.
Yeah.
When I first got into it, which is probably about 13 years ago now, whatever, I always wanted to be like a working actor. I didn't care. I just wanted to be involved in it, because I know there's plenty of what they call character actors that have been on TV for 35, 40 years, and I know where my face is, my voice is. I know the type of characters, when I started, cop, wise guy, detective, but I've played doctors, but it's New York. There's always going to be that work there. And I'm like, okay, you get stereotyped, but I'm working.
Yeah.
I just love being around the industry and seeing stuff. That's why a lot of people I took when I was doing Law and Order all those years, I'm like, I don't care. It's a background work, extra. But I'm on the set of Law and Order, SVU. I mean, that can't get much bigger than that. How many years? And you learn so much.
Sure.
Just from watching, and that's what I got at. And to me, Law and Order is the best run crew in TV from all the shows I'm on. It's a great cast, and they were all very personable. But I've learned a lot from observing.
Yeah.
You can go to acting classes, production classes. You're paying for what you're going there. They're paying you to sit there and watch.
Yeah.
And I've taken that I'm involved with my 2 buddies that we wrote our own series called the Bensonhurst Boys, and I'm one of the assistant directors on that. Cast everything, the 3 of us. And from all the years of working on Law and Order, I've learned how to write a script, how to set up a scene shot, how the actors go off of each other, and that's the way I approach it. And I feel I didn't go to school for that. I learned that from watching the camera guy. They were all professionals.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, how much better can that be? So I always want to be able to go to the next level And that's what I'm striving for, is that, the next role might be the role that gets me to somebody else that's, hey, look at this guy here. He does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And because that's how this business is.
Yeah.
Of course, it's who you know, when you know them, where you know them, but also what you give. And I feel, and I always say that, I'm a raw New York talent.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get, and I'm going to tell you how it is. And I use that to my advantage, because in New York, you're fighting always to get from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
And that's my approach in acting. The same way I'm not afraid to, fail. Well, they can say, yeah, and at least in this business, take one, take two, take three, So you just got to hopefully keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And you take what you can take out of life and bring it with you on this, on the screen.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and you could tell the New York just bleeds out of you, and it's that drive, and
that's it. I mean, right now is a little low time because I was going through a lot the last 5 years, family-wise, taking care of family and stuff like that. So a lot of it had to be pushed back, but now I can go forward with it. Take away from that.
How you doing dealing with that? And
it was rough, but I got past it. My parents were 98 and 99.
Wow,
there's no regrets. My father just passed away a couple of months ago, and my mother passed away 4 months ago. So it was very
close to each other too.
Yeah,
how that happened.
And I had an uncle I was taking care of also. He was 93, and I got one other uncle taking care of, 95. But it was rough during this time period because trying to come back from COVID was hard enough.
Yeah.
Getting back into I'm not a vaccinated guy.
Yeah.
So I was against the odds with that. And then knowing there were certain things I couldn't commit myself to because they were looking for like 2-3 day commitments, and I don't know what's going to be going on at home and stuff like that. But, there's no regrets. Like I said,
of course
my parents were, I couldn't get much more out of them, and they gave us everything they gave us, my grandchildren, stuff like that. So the hard shock is over with. Now I proceed, I move forward with it, and, that's what life is about. And you take that, like I said, you take that emotions and you bring it into some scenes or whatever you got to do.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's reality, it's life.
Yeah, it happens. And no matter I don't think it gets easier. I've talked to so many people on the podcast, and people who have lost loved ones. I also lost my mother, and
right.
It doesn't matter whether they're 60 or 110. It's your mother. It's your father, and it's
I've had too many friends, even my cousins. They lost their parents. I mean, basically, me and my sister were the last ones. We both had our parents. To that age.
Yeah, God bless them.
That's why I feel very fortunate, because I got friends of mine, their parents have been gone 20 years already.
Yeah.
So, I've had a lot of support around it. So it was a rough time, but I got through it, and now, we got to go forward. And because I knew my parents used to get a lot of joy out of seeing me.
And that's what any parent would want, right? For you to keep moving and doing. So anything coming up that you want to talk about? Any projects?
I got a couple that are, I'm going to be working on. Like I said, we have a project called the Bensonhurst Boys with my two friends, John and Mike. Right now it's on hold, but we already shot a couple of episodes that we're going to get back into filming. Going to be working on this other one that I got casted for called, I believe it's called Me, Music, and the Mob. It's about the history of the mob and the music industry back in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, wow.
Lisa Caserta is, that's Clemens Caserta's sister. Wow. She's involved with that. I got this one project we worked on in Beggar Man. Is out on Prime. It came out yesterday. A good friend of mine, Frankie Montero.
Oh, great.
Directed that one and wrote it. That was with Peter Green and Lenny Thomas, Matt Grossman. Another one was called The Operation. That one is done in black and white.
Oh, wow.
And I got to play a sarcastic, dirty cop. Nice. Which is kind of a favorite of mine. Anytime I can bring some sarcasm into anything, that's New York all the way there. Yeah, so I got that. I got another one that I just got signed off for. We're going to be filming up in Rhode Island called The Atwells. So I got a couple things in the mix right here.
Staying
And
busy,
along with,
man.
now everything is back from hiatus, being filmed here in New York, and start working on some local projects. The regular shows that we got going on here.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of that, and baseball season's October, so hopefully the Yankees will be playing late into October. That'll keep me busy with that.
Busy,
Yeah. So that's it's just a matter of just keep working.
Yeah.
Keep one foot in front of the other, keep them both grounded, and take what comes.
Yes, sir.
Whatever ain't there, try and grasp.
Yeah. Well, looking out there for people watching, what advice do you have for people that are maybe thinking about pursuing acting or?
It's a great opportunity to do something that you love. I mean, I wasn't an actor all my life, and that's one thing on my business card. It says I've been acting my whole life. I just never knew it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about, and I got into it late. But if it's something that you really feel you have a passion for, you go for it. You got nothing to lose. You don't have to look back. And like I said, take one step in front of the other, and just keep yourself grounded. And family is first. That's the way I found out. That's gonna come first. But if you have a love and a passion for this industry, it is a great industry to get into.
Yeah. Well, Ralph, it's an honor to have you on. I know that both your parents are proud, man, and they're watching on, man. So keep making them proud.
Yeah.
Keep pursuing the dream, and doing all that good stuff, and keep rooting for the Yankees.
That's it. That's all we can do. And hopefully we'll see if we play the Dodgers. I'll come out there again.
You have to come out, man. We'll celebrate.
But,
hey, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Listen, Ralph just said something that really stood out to me. Family first. I always say, man, sometimes we get passionate about things and we put our dreams so high on the spectrum, but we got to remember there's still priorities. At least for me, I agree with that. Family first, God, family, then pursue your dreams. So I always push on this podcast about dreams and chasing your inspiration. But remember, there are people in your life that come before all those things you're dreaming about, because those are the people that are actually there. They are the dream. So Ralph's chasing his dreams. I'm chasing mine. Go chase yours. See you on the next one. Good job, man.
Good job, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Yep.
Thank you for doing it, man.
You should never stress about the problems you be facing. Everybody in the mud on the struggle trying to make it. Look into the mirror and you see the motivation. Then you step into the world and you find your inspiration. I'm finding inspiration, and once I get a hold of it, I'll never get complacent. Look into the mirror and you see the motivation. Then you step into the world and you find your inspiration.